All right, welcome back, everyone. It's been almost a month since our last update. Last one was on May 16th, so that was 4 weeks ago. As you can see, we're actually trying to do like 3 weeks of food blogging and then monthly updates now. So this one might be a little longer.
Yeah, but I think we have some good updates and some interesting developments, let's say. So we're gonna break this video up into a few different sections. We'll start in service delivery.
Yeah, so basically when we last left, we were kind of getting a lot of traction in our sales momentum. And so unfortunately, after that update, we started to like reduce the amount of client acquisition. So I think in the past month, we've only closed like 2 clients, I think.
Yeah, they've been decent clients, I would say. They're more aligned in what we want to do moving forward. But yeah, we're trying to like, it's his example actually. You know, if you build a bigger skyscraper, you can't have the same foundation that you build like a normal residential home for. You need to build wider and thicker and stronger so that you can get better clients in the future. So that's what we're kind of, I think, trying to work on right now. But besides that, we started a few campaigns between
2 clients.
Google and Meta. So we had in total 1, 2, 3, almost 4 different campaigns go out this month. So it's been very hectic in that way. And then what else have we been doing?
It's interesting because we struggle between that whole like one thing, like 1 avatar, 1 service delivery, 1 sales acquisition. And so part of the campaigns we started to run as well is for like YouTube ads, kind of for another client. So that's been kind of interesting as well. And you want to talk about this thing right here?
Oh yeah, oh my gosh. Weeks in the making. Speaking of getting distracted from the 11111 thing. We basically did another website migration not too long ago. That was like 2 weeks ago, I think. And I had to like dust off my website brain for a little bit, but that went well. So I'm happy that we're kind of over that hump.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the last one.
Yeah, exciting. So part of the new client acquisition strategy is using podcasts. So we are actually now doing podcasts. Check out the Growwise this channel. Oh wait, yeah. no, the Growwise channel. Yeah. Basically the idea is that we reach out to founders and CEOs of company, and then we basically say, come on, and then we'll put them onto our channel and give them a few shorts to put onto their whatever social media platform. So we're starting that. It's a bit of a process to do that. So
yeah, but I'm kind of excited because we've never really done any sort of marketing or sales or outreach through LinkedIn, and we're giving that a try. So it's exciting to see how that evolution has been developing, because I do think it's it's getting there. It's getting there. But yeah.
All right. So in sales, new update here. Previously, for the past 4 or 5 months in 2024, we've been cold calling. We had a cold caller helping us out, but we've realized it's not the most effective way to get e-commerce clients. So we're now pivoting to an email drip campaign, basically a series of emails that we're going to send out to a bunch of owners and founders of e-commerce companies. Yep. And so therefore we got rid of a cold caller on our team and we reintroduced the email drip campaign person.
Yes. So I'm actually also really excited to do drip campaigns because we're going to be doing lead sourcing a little bit differently. We're going to use this system called Apollo, and we tried fashion outdoors for the niche and we were lead sourcing those people. And then we have recently started up doing owners and founders for lead gen to try to get to the right person when we send these emails, because that's something that we've also been struggling with. So
yeah, this is something we've been kind of debating actually since the beginning of the business, where it's like, do we want to stick to like 1 service, 1 avatar, 1 sales delivery? And when I think in this entrepreneurial journey, Hormozi talks about this a lot. It's like, ooh, shiny object, or ooh, shiny object. And I don't think we've even perfected it yet.
No.
Just last week, we signed a contract with ourselves, but we'll see how long that lasts. Because Kayla was saying that we were going to do fashion and outdoors, but I think I'm going to say 4 months ago, we're like, okay, let's just do e-commerce. And then we said, let's just do e-commerce fashion. And then we said, let's just do e-commerce fashion and outdoors. And now we're just going all e-commerce with Shopify. So we basically keep changing the avatar without figuring it out, without trying to solve that avatar. So yeah, that'll be a challenge, I think, moving forward in the next month or 2, but we'll see.
Yeah, I hope we can stick to it, because I think one of our mistakes, and I don't necessarily blame us for having this mistake because we just didn't know at the time, was when we pivoted from local business to e-commerce, we were just like, oh, e-commerce, it's like the same, as what our situation is with local business. But e-commerce is an entirely different beast, because the businesses can be so large, so small, be in basically every single industry that exists. So I think learning and moving forward, if I could have gone back to that moment, I would have been more pointed on making sure we define that niche of e-commerce instead of e-commerce is our niche, because that's a huge niche. So
just a little more on this cold email drip campaign. So basically we have someone helping us out do several things. We have to purchase a few domains, and then under those domains create several email addresses, and then create the startup sequences or the email sequences on where we're using Instantly, which is a lot of different types of emails sending out. So that'll be a cool automation. And then in theory, people kind of engage with it and we put them into a warm sequence. So the idea is that we're going to try to use Go High Level, route them to some landing pages, and hopefully get them on a sales meeting is the ideal. So yeah.
Another thing, we're breaking the rule again with the 111, but we're giving this a try right now, is LinkedIn outreach. Like I mentioned earlier, we are reaching out to people, mainly founders, owners of businesses, to come onto a podcast with us in hopes that we can convert them into a paying customer, because we're getting them in front of the camera, we're understanding their business, and then they are also getting comfortable with us theoretically and what we do. And we have a sequence for LinkedIn as well in terms of like, okay, this is the first message. If they say this, reply this. If they say this, reply that. I'm actually very surprised with how many messages we've even gotten back. Like, granted, we haven't had a podcast yet, but I would say out of all the messages that we've sent, we've gotten like, I don't know,
3 to 4 maybe?
No, more than that. Like
really?
Maybe like 6 to 10 responses. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if it works. So operations, this is more team focused stuff. And what we've been doing is a monthly team meeting. I think it's really good for us to have these, because then it gets basically the entire team on one page, which I think is really important as we're starting up these new ventures with LinkedIn, with email, with, you know, figuring out our niche, that kind of thing. So we've been doing that. And I don't know, I'm really enjoying them. I think the team is as well. So
yeah. I think with most of those meetings, the important part is, I mean, half of the important part is the meeting. The other half is preparation.
Yeah.
So leading up to those monthly meetings, we list out all of our goals for the company. And so it's good to see kind of what our goals were last month, what actually happened, and then because of that, what our goals are for next month.
Yeah.
So those are very useful things.
Yeah, I think so too. And then it keeps the team aware of like what we're shooting for, so that they, you know, are like invested in it, if that makes sense.
Okay, so growth. Let's see. So since our last update, we've closed 2 clients.
Yes.
The first one was kind of like the tail end of the rush that we had.
Yeah.
And then it was like a drought for like 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And just randomly this week, an invoice was paid by someone I think, was it you or Francis, where it was like 4 months ago when we first started?
It was you.
No, who brought it out? What do you mean it was you?
It was you.
Who what?
You're the one who was like, actually, it's funny. You were like, I was like, I don't think we need to call these people back. And you were the one that was like, no, we should do this. We should call them. So without you pushing us, I don't think we would have actually closed them as clients. So,
but I think we first engaged them in January or something. Yeah. And so anyway, long story short, we were talking to them. We had sales meetings. They're like, okay, cool. And then they got busy for like a month or 2.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll get back to you. And then all of a sudden they just paid the invoice this week. So they're like, oh, cool. So that's awesome.
So what we're learning right now is that part of being in this stage in our business where we're sending out all these emails, trying to get more clients, that kind of thing, is that we need to have an offer that will basically entice people to actually respond to our emails, respond to our outreach, you know, whatever. And something that we've been really working on the last few weeks is our offer. So some people might understand this as like a guarantee. Like, for example, for those who don't know, a guarantee could be like, oh, you know, if this skin cream doesn't make your skin super clear in 90 days, you'll get a full refund. So we're trying to find our version of that. And I think we're finally kind of getting there. So that was a really cool step. Now it's just a function of implementing that we need to do.
Up to this point, we're really like selling a service. So like, here's Google Ads or here's marketing, but people really buy an offer.
Yes.
Right? So instead of saying, hey, we do Google Ads, we're going to say, hey, we can double your business, as you know, as one of our friends have. So there's that. All right. So YouTube, as you know, we've been we were doing weekly updates. We've now moved this to monthly because we're doing food blogs again. So as if you're still watching this, you've seen the past 3 videos being food blogs. So that's what we're doing. And podcasts, we talked about that. Yep. We've interviewed 3 people so far. One of our MedSpot clients, the homie Edmark, and another client that we have who does, how would you describe
he's
what he does?
He's a naturopath, and he has a lot of spiritual kind of I don't know if it's self-help, but like self-discovery books. Right. So
you want to talk about Coach Joe?
Coach Joe. We can both talk about Coach Joe. So Coach Joe, I don't think we've talked about him on this channel yet.
Shout out. What's his, actually, I'll find his channel while you
Yes, please do. But we actually met him through WealthCon, which is Ryan Pineda's conference in Las Vegas. And it was cool because he just approached us basically and was like, hey, you know, we had these giant buttons. So he talked about our buttons, but he was also like, hey, like maybe we should connect at some point. And it was really cool because he is also a very successful agency owner. He's worked with agencies and has now his own business that he works with. And yeah, you can tell the rest.
Yeah, so if you want to find him on YouTube, it's Joe Chavez at ecomjoe, ECOMJOE. But yeah, as Kayla mentioned, we met him at Wealthton, and it's pretty cool. He's graciously offered to mentor us. We meet with him once a week on Fridays. He basically kind of goes through his business model, and we kind of compare that to ours. And so it's been really, really valuable. Out of all the things we got at Wealthcon, I think that's the most valuable thing we got.
Oh my gosh. I actually think our original goal was to get a client or more business. But I think what we got, like you said, was more valuable than even that. Because I feel like we're learning so much. And like he said, he's doing this for free for us, which is really, 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 really nice. So that we can test out his course. Yeah. So yeah, check out his content. He's super experienced and smart with this stuff.
All right. In our previous updates, we had learning for the week. So now we have learning for the month. I'll work our way backwards. We're still watching Shark Tank almost every weeknight. 1 or 2 pitches. It's still entertaining and a good learning experience for me.
Same.
I'll do the first 2 weeks. So week of May 20th, we were watching videos on how to build a custom home and podcasting because we were about to get into podcasting. And then the week after, we revamped some learning on sales, offers because we were constructing a new offer, and eating healthy on a budget.
True. And then the last 2 weeks, there's a mixer of personal, but laser hair removal was one of them because both of us want to do that eventually. Google Ads and LinkedIn outreach because that's something that we are currently working on a little bit more. And then this week we're working on the Joe course. So he sent us over his course and what we call it as our Joe work.
Joe work. Let's go. All right, reading in the past month. Unfortunately, I think when I last talked 4 weeks ago, I just finished, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Yes.
And since then, I started the new Elon book. Well, not the new, I don't know. It's by Isaac, what's it called? Elon Musk, Isaac. Do you remember his name?
Walter Isaacson.
Is it Walter Isaacson? Okay.
Yes, it's that one, Walter Isaacson.
Boom. Okay. So this book is amazing. It's a long book, but I'm really, really enjoying it. It's basically like Dan Bilzerian's book, but for like tech nerds. And it really gives me a good insight into or a better insight into like how Elon thinks and kind of how he's operated through time. So it's really kind of reassuring, and I can live vicariously through his history. And at the same time, it's cool because I've been listening to a lot of Jeff Bezos interviews, and there's this really cool kind of contrast about like perspectives on different topics. Yeah. So anyway, I'm like 42% through the Elon book. I'll probably take another few weeks, but it's been a while since the last time I've enjoyed a book this much was reading Dan Bilzerian's book, like almost a year and a half ago.
Yeah. So. Biographies.
Yeah.
Yep, I am still reading the same 2 books because I am not as disciplined as Gregory over here about reading every morning. And the 2 books that I was reading was the Dan Bilzerian book. I kind of just picked that one up when I am bored. And then the Sing Around Corners book. That book I still think is a really, really great book. I just need to finish it. So I'll get there.
All right, so that was kind of a summary of the last month. It feels like a lot more when we break it up.
I know.
So next month, the goals are hopefully to get more clients, obviously.
Yep.
Focus on the email drip campaign.
Absolutely.
And then you want to work?
Yeah, we want to get some more guests from LinkedIn for the podcast, and then hopefully transition our clients onto Slack so that they're not texting our personal numbers as much. So yeah, hopefully July will be, or the end of June will be good, and July will be even better.
Yeah, if you're still watching our channel, thank you. Leave a comment so we know that you're watching. Yeah. And don't forget to like,
subscribe,
and hit that bell notification.
Ding.
Ding, ding.
Oh, sorry.
That thing. Yeah, that thing. Yeah, that's right. We haven't done that in a while.
All right. Till next time. Peace.